said I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me.
There's a lot of funny memories, fond memories. One, I can remember, this was probably 2009, maybe 2010. Randy had called me up one afternoon and said, "Hey, you interested in going to a hockey game?" It was a playoff game. I said, "Oh yeah, that'd be great." Red Wings were playing the Blackhawks, I think, and so we had some business to do that day in Detroit. So it was me and Steve and Jim and Randy, and we drove down to Detroit for the playoff game, and of course started having some beers before the game, during the game. So it seemed like I was never empty-handed, so I was sitting there watching the game and drinking, and the Blackhawks end up tying the game late, and it goes into overtime. And so now I'm thinking, okay, now it's like 10:30. We're getting home late that night, and I've got a little bit of a buzz, and Red Wings get a 3-on-1 break. They score a goal. I jump up and down, and I think I ran over Randy, Jim, and Steve, pushed them out into the aisleway, and they're looking at me, laughing at me, because I was so fired up that the Red Wings won. It was a really, really cool moment. We had a lot of fun that night.
So one of my most impressionable memories, I would say that goes back to when we actually left this building and went over to our current location for Source One, and we looked across that building and went, what are we going to do with all of this space? And here we are 8 years later, almost 9, and we don't have an inch to spare. We are out of space for employees, out of space for equipment, so I would say definitely the growth of this company is one of the most impressionable memories that I have.
And then I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu, and I looked deeper and I spoke sweeter and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said someday.
I guess for me, one of the best memories I have at Source One is when birthdays and accomplishments happen around here. It's always fun to make goofy banners and funny faces and things on surprise banners for people. One of the best ones was years ago. Jim Freed wasn't around, and we made him basically the big pink bunny from The Christmas Story, and he didn't take it too well, but everybody else thought it was a hoot, so we like those sort of memories.
I think one of the greatest memories I have from being here all these years is things that we did together as a team. So I would say the Christmas videos or the corporate videos or whatever that we did totally pulled us out of our comfort zone, like dancing, singing, rapping, trying to think of a message of a whole that was better than the one you did last year because it was a big competition. And you always had to one-up everybody else. So, and being in accounting, we got a lot of competition with creative people and sales people, so we had to up our game. But I'd say even in all the weirdness of wearing costumes for whatever, being on the beach filming, Christmas videos, somehow because it pulled all of us out of our comfort zones, it made some kind of a weird bond between us all and great friendships over the years.
I remember when we first started the sports department and we were trying to get that all up and running, and we were scrambling to get all the dasher boards made in time, and we were working with the Flint Generals, and we needed to get some dashers to Flint that day, and this was before there were like courier services and same-day deliveries. So I was panicking, and I ran down to the bus station and bought a Greyhound bus ticket for a box of dasher boards to get them to the Flint Generals that afternoon. And that's when we were just kind of starting off and really hustling, trying to keep clients happy and making it work.
So, one of my early memories of starting at RCP RC Productions at the time was when first week or so I was at Pine Street, just started. Tim Achterhoff still worked at WMUS, and he stops in to see Randy. Randy introduces him to me as, the new graphic designer, and Tim pulled Randy aside and he's like, I don't know about that girl. She's pretty quiet, she's kind of meek and mild. He's like, Randy, I don't think she's gonna make it here. Well, I think a little bit of Randy Crow has rubbed off on me, and almost 25 years later, I don't think anyone would describe me as meek and mild and quiet anymore. So here's to 35 years and some great memories along the way. Thanks, Randy.
Sometimes there's airplanes I can't jump out. Sometimes there's bullshit that don't work. Now we got our stories, but please tell me what there's to complain about. When you're happy like a fool, you let it take you over. When everything is out, you gotta take it in. Oh, this has gotta be a good life. This has gotta be a good life. This could really be a good life, good life.
Probably one of my favorite memories is shooting hockey pucks at pop bottles for 25 cents a shot against Tom and Steve at Park Street before the Christmas party.
I had been working here for less than a year. Our creative department was actually upstairs. We have a second floor before we moved it down here. And I remember that when I was young and dumb, I would take the stairs upstairs like 2 or 3 at a time. And then at one point I tried to do that on the way down, and I tripped going down the stairs, and I tried to grab the railing all the way down. So I tripped all the way down the stairs, and by the time I got to the bottom, I had ripped the railing right out of the wall, and it was laying on the stairs, and I was laying at the bottom of the stairs. So that's one of my most embarrassing and fondest memories that I tried to forget that you've brought up again.
This has gotta be a good life. This has gotta be a good life. This could really be a good life, good life. Say, oh, this feeling that you can't find. The city is a fine night. This could really be a good life, a good, good life. Good, good life, good life.
One of my most memorable jobs that I've worked on for Source One has been when we did the Women's Final Four. We touched a ton of files in the process of that, and prepping them and getting them out and watching finishing do them, and kind of the harried frenzy at the end to get the rest of them out the door. But one of my favorite parts about the whole thing was seeing the pictures at the end and how they came together, and watching the installers installing them and watching them on TV.
Oh, I have lots of memories working here, and a lot of them that have put me outside of my comfort zone specifically. But one that really comes to mind when you ask that question are the Christmas cards and videos that we've done over the years. The one that I think stands out the most for me was when we actually turned the lights off in creative and danced under dim lighting to Gangnam Style as a team. That one took me a couple of years.
So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still.
One of my fondest memories is the day that we were tearing down the house in front of the building. We all sat up on the hill and watched the bulldozer pull down the house, and I remember Randy looking back at us and saying, maybe I should have told the bank that I was tearing down the collateral that I had put up on the building before I destroyed it. It's classic. It's exactly what I would think might happen, and we all laughed and cheered on the evolution of RC Productions.
One of my greatest memories of Randy is an afternoon. We had noticed that people had to walk around where Tim Achterhoff sits and kind of cut through the little coffee area in the middle of the salespeople to get to the back of Source One. So Randy had an idea that he was going to knock a hole in the wall and shorten everybody's path to get to the front desk and get around the company a little bit easier. So about 10 minutes later, Randy came back from Vern's hardware store, which was down on Lakeshore Avenue, in a suit with a tie, and we were dressed for business. And pretty soon Randy's standing there in his wife beater, his gold chain, and a sledgehammer. And about 15 minutes later, we had access to the front desk without going via the coffee pot.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall.
I can remember my first week on the job, and I was coming from radio, so this was a whole new world for me. And I was able to sign up 2 of my automotive clients with whom I'd worked with in radio in the first couple days I was here. And you know what? Almost 23 years later, they are still with us, and they've grown, and it's been fun to watch it all. It's really been fun to watch RCP grow as well.
One of my favorite memories working here at Source One is all the signage we did for the Super Bowl in Detroit years back, and also the work we did in Nashville for the Women's Final Four.
Take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places.
I think one of the best memories I have of working at RC was, I think it was way back in 1999 when we went to the Double J and went horseback riding. It was a lot of fun. Well, that and all the parties at Randy's house.
I remember the days of the 3-part forms where we had to log all of our time. It was so tedious. Now we live in the world of Tracker, and it makes so many old school things so much easier. Another memory I have would be when I was big and pregnant and I set off the alarm here. Randy, you weren't too happy with me, and the police showed up, so that was slightly embarrassing. Sorry about that.
Wow, Randy, 35 years. I've been there for 27 of them, and I've had the opportunity to watch all of your hard work and dedication. I'm so proud to have such an amazing husband, not to mention this wonderful job I've had for the last 15 years, and hopefully a lot of years to come. Congratulations, Randy.
So many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived.
Thank you to RC and Source One for all the memories.
Thanks for the memories, Randy.
Thank you for all the memories.
Thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the good times.
Thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memories.
Thanks for all the memories.
Thanks for all the great memories.
Thanks for all the memories. It's been awesome.
Thanks for all the memories.
Thanks for all the great times.
Thanks for the memories, Randy.
Randy, thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memories, Randy.
Cheers to 35 years.
Randy, thanks for keeping me on the job all these years. And now I'm in Florida half the year, and you still let me work here. So, hey, I appreciate that.
Randy, I'd like to thank you for the past 20 years. I really appreciate your dedication and devotion to me and to the company, and believing in me for the last 20 years. Thank you very much.
Cheers to
35
years!
The past 35 years at RC and Source One and now the Gear Group have been outstanding. As I tell our team, the best years are ahead of us. With the client base we continue to grow and expand and the talented team that we've assembled, the best years are ahead of us, and we're really looking forward to that. Thank you for all the great memories.